Yeah. So, talking about statistics basics. So, the very first question which we had seen is what is statistics? And as I was defining, statistics is applied mathematics on data to do descriptive and inferential analysis, right? After that, we looked into statistics sampling techniques. We looked into difference between sample and population. Okay, so we said that population is a set of observations, yeah? And sample is subset of population. Okay, so uh, this is the definition between sample this is the difference between sample and population, and then we looked into sampling techniques. Okay, so sampling techniques we talked uh, were of two types. One is probability based sampling technique, and another is non probability based. Okay, now we'll look into this sampling techniques. So very like at least when you are dealing with data on a machine, sampling data for, let's say, a data science or a machine learning project, then you will be mostly using probabilistic probability based sampling test techniques. Probability based sampling. Okay, what is probability based? What are the different probability based samplings? So one, random sampling, right? Two, systematic sampling. Sorry, systematic sampling. Third, uh, third is stratified sampling. Okay, I'll quickly summarize that. Suppose uh, these are different people, right? P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, and P6, P7, P8, P9, and P10, right? Like this is our population. Let's say this is a population of 10 people, right? So now what is random sampling? Random sampling is you choose any of this population randomly, right? Like basically out of 10, 10 is my population size, and I have to select four people who are my samples, right? So I selected this four, right? This is random sampling, like randomly I sampled it. Okay, now again look into this. What is systematic sampling? So systematic sampling, again, let's see, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, right? P7, P8, let me put P9 and P10, right? So what is systematic sampling? Systematic sampling is I decide that I will be choosing odd number of population, right? Like so basically I either choose this one or I choose this one, right? That is systematic, right? So either I choose people with even number, even number or odd number. So 1, 3, 5, these are the people I had chosen. And uh, in that also, like basically randomness can be applied here, because I have to choose four only, right? So I can choose 1, 3, 5, and 7, or I can choose 1, 3, 5, and 9, right? So that is systematic sampling. And stratified sampling, again I can take this example. It is exactly P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8, P9, and P10. Right. Now what again I have to choose 10 out of 10 I have to choose 4 samples, right? Like my population size is 10 and I have to choose 4. So what I will do, I will create a stratification, right? Like basically I can say that uh, I will choose 2 from odd population and 2 from odd population and 2 from even, right? So sorry. So two, like I can select P1 and P3, P5 randomly, right? And two from E1, I can select P4 and P8, right? So this is example of probability based sampling. Like and there are 3 types of sampling: random, systematic, and stratified, right? Now let's look into non-probability based sampling. Non-probability based sampling. Okay, sorry. Okay. Yeah. So non-probability based sampling, there are many different types. Like some of the common now, like some of the common non-probability sampling types are uh, snowball, right? Second is quota based, right? Uh, Third is judgment. Fourth is convenience. Convenience. Okay. There are others as well. Uh, so like consecutive sampling, right? Consecutive sampling. So all of these samplings are examples of non-probability samplings, and uh, this problems this like you'll when these sampling techniques will be you'll see very common when you are like really uh, uh, on the ground and you want to collect samples, right? At the time, randomly choosing like probabilistic methods may not be useful, right? So let's quickly go through what each of these probability non-probability sampling techniques are. So a snowball is something like uh, 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 you asked to basically let's take an example that you have a survey, right? And you asked the survey to be filled by your friend. Let's say it is F1, right? Now your friend F1 send it to F2, right? You didn't send to F2, your friend sent to F2, right? And then your another friend F2 sends to F3, right? And F2 also sends to F4, right? So this is basically snowball effect. Like snowball effect is like basically uh, it's a ball of snow which go on adding snows on top of it, uh, like as it rolls, right? So as the day passes, you will be getting more and more samples, okay, with your snowball. So this is snowball. Now coming to uh, quota, and before quota, like let me talk about judgment. So judgment is like you decide like you will you have some people, right? Like out of 10 people where we are talking about, so you decide that who these 10 people will be good to take the take the survey, right? Or whom we should be adding to the sample. So basically out of 10 I need 4. So based on the profile I'll say that okay, like let's choose this 4 people. Okay, so this is judgment. Now convenience. So convenience again, like it is also known as accidental sampling. Accidental sampling. So convenience sampling or accidental sampling is uh, like basically it is it is just based on convenience. So for example, again, if I can take example of 10 people, so what is more convenient for me to, like if I am in Bangalore, right? And if I have to choose 10 people, uh, so like I will choose all of these 10 people from Bangalore itself, and I give them survey, and I ask them like out of this sorry, I have to choose like I have to choose 4 people, right? So I just choose any of the 4 people from these 10 people from Bangalore itself, like. So this is like uh, convenience sampling. Okay, uh, now next is so consecutive sampling. So consecutive sampling is basically consecutive sampling is basically we decide that whether we go on selecting or rejecting people based on like whether they suit to our requirement or not. And till the time we get the people, will use like will carry on our sampling. So let me give it an example, right? Like I have this P6, P7, P8, P9 and P10. So I see that I have to choose 4 people out of this 10, right? I have to choose 4. So I'll see that uh, uh, is my P1 sample is good or not. So if it is good, then I choose P1. Is my P2 sample is good or not? Right? Like good means like is it useful for me or not? Right? If it is not, I'll go to P3. If P3 is not good, then I'll go to P4. P4 is good, so I'll choose P4. Similarly, P5 is good, I choose P5. Right? P6 is not good, I drop it. P7 not good, I drop it, and then I choose P8. Right? Since P8 is good, and then I drop P9 and P10. Right? So this is known as consecutive sampling. Now, coming to quota sampling. So quota sampling is very much similar to stratified sampling. So basically, or I would say that it is uh, stratified plus 5 plus judgment sampling, right? So which means that like uh, basically you create groups of people. For example, you have uh, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8, P9, and P10, right? Here you created groups 1, 2, uh, let's say. So basically you have many groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 5 groups, right? Now what you have to do, you have to choose one person from each group, right? So you created a strata, and then you have to choose one person from each group. So you'll choose P1, you'll choose P2 because there are only one people, right? And then from P3 and P4 you can choose P4, right? And then from P5 and P6 maybe you choose 0, right? And then P7, P8, P9, P10 you choose one by judgment or by any of this like convenience or consecutive sampling. Or so you choose one like let's say P8, right? So this become my sample, right? So this you will see very common in practice, right? Like non-probability based sampling techniques. Okay, till now if you have any questions, we can have a quick round of question. Otherwise I will move forward with the next topic of uh, types of statistics. Okay, so I guess no questions. So next topic is,
Hello,
yes.
Ranjit here.
Hey, hi Ranjit.
So,
Yep.
My question is, do we try all the sampling mechanism for our best knowledge, or uh, we take either of one and go ahead?
Yeah. Uh, Yeah, it all depends on like how the axis is, how the axis of this population is available to you, right? Like basically, as I was using this example of survey, right? So you'll see this very common, like because survey when you send, not many people will be responding to it, right? Like basically, suppose you have a huge population and from that population you take, yeah, you have a huge population. From that population you took some samples, right? And now you want to send survey, right? So what happens is like suppose you send a survey to 100 people, right? Now if those 100 people are not responding to you, or suppose you had sent this survey to all over country, and many of these people are not responding, right? Like people from Bangalore or from Delhi are not responding also. So in that case, like your sampling approach fails, right? So in such cases, like you will like to do a snowball sampling where you send this to your friend, then you ask them to send it to their friends and all, right? In that way you can collect the samples from friends and all, right? Like and you will definitely get data. But when you get this data, this will be like this survey will be from more like-minded people, right? Like my friend will be more will be having characteristics more like me. And if I'm sending to him, then I will be like basically I will be getting a biased data set, right? So in case, like if I'm not interested in having a biased data set, then like maybe like I should be using some other techniques and all. So it all depends on like how, which technique is more feasible to us, which technique is more like basically how much time we have, and which technique will be able to provide us more data in a shorter time, or which technique will be providing more relevant, more correct data, maybe in a longer time, right? Like unbiased data in the longer time. Okay. So this,
Uh,
like based on many different criterias, we decide on what sampling technique should be used.
okay. Okay. Thanks. Thanks.
Okay. So now next is types of statistics, right? So there are two types of statistics. One is descriptive and another is inferential. Okay. So now let's talk about descriptive statistics. Let's try to define what is descriptive statistics. So descriptive statistics uh, is basically, as the name suggests, it is description. Description of population. Okay. And this description of population can be uh, through let's say mathematical calculations, or uh, I'm putting these names, but like it can be so basically, or pivots, or maybe like let me say tables, right? So either mathematical calculations or pivot tables or charts, right? So this is what is known as descriptive analytics. right? Or descriptive statistics. So basically descriptive statistics is description of population based on some mathematical calculations, or pivots or tables or charts, right? Now uh, let's take this example, right? So uh, uh, let's say uh, hmm, yeah uh, okay. So let's say I have a class, like class means uh, uh, school class, like let's say class 10th, right? I have students, so S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6, S7, S8. Like there are 8 students, right? Now, for the students, what I can this is my population, right? And I am going to describe, I am going to provide descriptive statistics for this population. So, what kind of descriptive description I can get from this data? So, I have 8 people, and for all of these 8 people got marks uh, in mathematics, right? In mathematics course. So what I can provide is uh, what information I can derive from this is that uh, what is the maximum number, right? What is maximum, what is minimum, right? What is average, right? There could be many more which is based on the data. So descriptive analytics is based on the data, and it should be applicable to the whole population, right? If we can have descriptive analytics for sample as well, but then sample should be representation of the population, right? So uh, average, or we can have uh, median, or yeah, we can have mode as well, but in this case we have minimum, maximum, average, and median, right? So these are the statistics, descriptive statistics, which we can get directly from the data, right? So basically this information is already there in the data, and we are using some mathematical calculations to get this information out, right? So this is mathematical calculation. We can also have pivot charts as well, I can show that uh, how many students got marks between 100 to 90 to 100, right? And let's say there are 2 students, then next is 80 to 90, right? And let's say there is 1 student, next is 70 to 50, and let's say there are 2 students, right? uh, then 50 to 40, right? And let's say there are 2 more students and less than 40, so there is 1 student, something like this, right? So this is also a descriptive analytics, right? And similarly I can have charts as well, charts of comparison, like histogram of the data, frequency chart, how many students are, like the same information I can show in frequency chart as well, like histogram of. So this is all is known as descriptive analytics or descriptive statistics. Let me put it in this way, this word, that like anything which we can derive from the data, right, will be known as uh, like directly from the data, is known as descriptive statistics. Like this is basically characteristic of the data, right? So the data which is given to me, based on that data, definitely I can get a minimum value, maximum value, average value, right? So all of this information is known as descriptive statistics. Now coming to inferential statistics, right? Now so inferential statistics, as the names suggest, like basically you are inferring something, right? Like you are making inferences, okay? Or other word for inferences is predictions. You are making predictions, okay? So inferential statistics is inferences or predictions of population, right? Of population, right? Now, so inferential statistics, basically I was talking about the descriptive analytics, descriptive statistics is of population, right? So similarly, inferential statistics is also for population, but to derive inferences, we can use samples as well. And same thing is here as well, right? For descriptive analytics, also we can use samples, but then like these samples in both these cases should be representation of the population, right? So yeah, so this is samples or population, but the sample should be representation of the, so let me write it that sample should be representation of population. Okay, now, so all of the things which you can think of, like uh, from the predictions perspective, right, all comes under inferential statistics. Let's again take this example of students, right? So S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6, S7, S8, right? So what information we were having, their mathematics mark, right? Math marks, and these were all student, these were all class 10th student, right? Now what I, based on this information, what I can predict is what courses or what stream these students will be taking in their 11th class, right? So whether they will be taking biology or mathematics or physics, right? So this information is not available in the data, right? This is what we are inferencing, right? uh, 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 like we are predicting this information based on the data and based on the historical information as well, right? So this is known as inferential statistics. Okay. Okay, so this was all about types of statistics. Like there are two types of statistics. uh, so we talked about descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Okay, I will talk more about differential descriptive statistics and inferential statistics in my next class. Uh, if you have any questions for this class, we can have that question before ending the session. Okay, so I assume that there are no questions. So I'll end this session here. If you have any questions, you can write. Uh, we can discuss on WhatsApp group as well. And like if you can send me the questions, and I can discuss in my in next session.